It was a cold, quiet night on December 7th, 2018, in rural Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. Emergency dispatcher Sarah Mitchell expected another routine shift filled with minor emergencies. But at exactly 2:17 a.m., a chilling 911 call shattered the silence, and Sarah unknowingly became the lifeline to solving one of America's most disturbing serial murder cases. The voice on the line wasn't screaming. It wasn't crying. It was trembling. "Please help me," a young woman whispered, and then came the words that would change everything. "He's here. He's going to kill me." Lancaster County, nestled in southeastern Pennsylvania, is often defined by serene landscapes, traditional values, and tight-knit communities. But in 2018, beneath the charm and routine, there was a rising fear, a pattern no one wanted to admit. Between May and November that year, 5 young women, aged 19 to 26, had disappeared, all from different towns within the county, all under different circumstances. No bodies, no suspects, no leads. The cases were quietly filed as missing persons, leaving families devastated and communities uneasy. Local law enforcement was reluctant to admit the cases were connected. There were no clear links, no witnesses, and each disappearance was subtle, like smoke vanishing into the night. But to the families, and eventually the press, a question lingered. Was a serial predator hunting in Lancaster? The town of Liddies, with its red brick storefronts and seasonal parades, never imagined it would be the epicenter of a national manhunt. Until December 7th. Maya Thompson, 23, was a nursing student at Franklin and Marshall College. On November 22nd, she vanished after her evening class. Her car was found parked behind the library. Her purse was in the passenger seat. Her phone? Gone. For 2 weeks, her name was plastered across flyers. Vigils were held, and her family pleaded on TV for any information. But no one knew that Maya was still alive and in the hands of a man who had kidnapped her. At 2:17 a.m. on December 7th, Sarah Mitchell, working the late shift at the Lancaster County 911 Center, answered a call that appeared routine at first. But the moment she heard the whisper, her posture changed. "911, what's your emergency?" Long silence. Then, "Please, he's here." Sarah muted her headset to signal her supervisor. She kept her voice calm. "Are you able to speak freely?" A broken breath. "No, he'll hear." "Is he in the same room as you?" "Not yet." "Do you know where you are?" "Old house, woods. I think Franklin Road." Suddenly, heavy footsteps. A door creaked. "He's coming," Sarah whispered back. "Hide the phone. We'll find you." The line stayed active but silent. The call was traced to a location near Deschutes property off Franklin Road, a place no longer listed on maps, long abandoned. Officers were dispatched immediately. As they breached the property, a sickening sight awaited. Inside the cellar, chained to the floor, was Maya, weak, bruised, but alive. Her phone was still transmitting the 911 signal, but the house was empty. Her captor had fled moments before. Forensic teams worked for hours. Hidden beneath floorboards were women's shoes, necklaces, and personal belongings. In a locked cabinet, they found photos, some dating back years, of different women, some known to police, some not. The 911 call became the turning point. Maya, now hospitalized and recovering, described her kidnapper. Tall, mid-40s, wore gloves always, never spoke more than necessary. She never saw his face clearly. He wore a welding mask, but she remembered the smell, motor oil and pine. Maya's rescue and the items found in the house forced police to reclassify the missing persons cases as homicides. A serial killer, active for at least 5 years, had operated under their noses. The key clue came from Maya's memory. A distinct tattoo on the killer's forearm, an old military insignia, combined with the smell of motor oil and witness statements about a strange man in the Franklin area offering free mechanical repairs from his truck. A composite profile was formed. The suspect was soon identified, Benjamin Roy Carter, a 47-year-old former Army mechanic who lived off-grid in northern Lancaster County. He had no criminal record, few acquaintances, and a background that included overseas deployment and a medical discharge for PTSD. Surveillance confirmed his movements near all 5 original disappearance sites. A warrant was issued. On December 13th, officers raided Carter's isolated cabin. He was captured without incident, cooking dinner when they arrived. In the cellar, authorities found evidence of at least 3 additional victims, ones not yet reported missing. He had kept trophies, diaries, and videos. During interrogation, Carter confessed to 9 murders over 7 years. He referred to them as projects, his way of restoring balance to a world he claimed had turned against him. His trial gripped the nation. Families of victims packed the courtroom. Some fainted upon hearing the recorded 911 call. Others wept as Maya testified. Carter showed no emotion, not during the charges, not during the testimonies, not even when the judge sentenced him to 9 consecutive life terms without parole. Sarah Mitchell, the dispatcher who held Maya's voice steady that night, was honored with a Medal of Civilian Bravery. Her ability to stay calm and gather critical information under pressure was hailed as textbook perfect. Maya, after months of therapy and recovery, now speaks at trauma centers and women's advocacy events. Her voice, once a whisper in the dark, has become a powerful symbol of survival. The 911 call that caught a serial killer reminds us of the fragility of safety, the courage of victims, and the heroes working behind the scenes. It's a haunting case, but it's also a story of hope, that even in the darkest moments, a whisper for help can echo into justice.